What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of My Perspective Podcast with your boy Big Hawk, aka Aaron Hawkins. Hey, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Please, 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 like, share, and subscribe. We coming to you with this episode from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm parked for the night in Memphis, Tennessee, and just got a conversation I want to talk to you about. Please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. So, this is a topic, right, that is a never-ending topic. It's ongoing. I just want to put my perspective on it, put my 2 cents on it. My 2 cents ain't very popular, but I'm going to give it anyway. And y'all let me know in the comments what you think. This particular topic is just dealing with um, child support, co-parenting and child support. This is a very, very touchy subject, very touchy subject, and it could be a very slippery slope because, me personally, I believe in child support. I believe every man should take care of their responsibility, not just financially. They need to be in their child life actively as well. But if you can't be there actively for whatever reason, man, your money need to be there. That's my personal belief. And I say what I say because I had the privilege, the beautiful privilege of raising my kids from birth to adults with their mama. It wasn't easy, very tough, very challenging, but it was very beautiful and it was very exciting at the same time. I got a friend of mine, he has 2 daughters. His oldest child, he wasn't in the home with his oldest child, but he was a very active father, very hands-on, very present father. But he wasn't in the home. They lived in 2 different homes. They was young when they had their baby, his first child. They were young. He was dating girlfriend. He's married now, so um, he was a great dad. Me from the outside looking in, and me from having access to him because he's one of my best friends at the time. Great dad. I mean, he paid child support, but he also spent quality time. It wasn't just birthdays and holidays. It was weekends, during the week. Every chance he got, he had his baby with him. Sent his money, but he also sent his time as well. So, from a man that I saw who didn't live in a home with his child, was a very, very active and present father in his child's life. They had a great relationship as he was helped rearing her up. Then he got married, he had another child. So I asked him a question. I said, bro, what's the difference raising your child outside of the home and raising your child in the home? He said, man, I hate to say it, but there's nothing like being there with your child day in and day out. I knew that to be true. I felt it to be true because I had the privilege of raising my children in the home with my then wife. We're no longer together now, but my then wife, I had the privilege of doing that. I wasn't privy to raising children outside of the home. They live with their mom in one home, I live in another home. Now, I had some mishaps, so I did have a little bit of knowledge of how that is, but I wasn't as present because of the unsurety whether the children being mine or not. So I can't count that because I did spend time with my children. I did do for them financially. I wasn't on court order child support, but I made sure they have what they need. I helped the parents, the mother, the best I could. But I would only do so much because I was unsure of the paternity of the babies because of the nature of our relationship. These were women I wasn't in relationships with. These were women we just was I guess there was situations. She was just having fun. Young, man. I was young, just having fun, kicking it, doing whatever. Um, Back in those days, in my early 20s, man, late teens, life was a blur for me. So I wasn't thinking about real responsibility. I was just about having fun. Did I want children? Of course, but for the wrong reasons. Because everybody else was having kids. So hell, I want me a child too. I know I like family because I come from a big family. So that was one reason. But man, these girls with me, man, they were playing pick a daddy with me. So my first couple go round, I was straight humiliated, just hurt because you invest that time and energy into these children, only to find out that they're not your children. That shit hurt, but it hurt the children more than it hurt the adults. I was okay. I bounced back. It hurt a little bit, but I kept it pushing. But them children are stuck with not knowing who their parent, who their real daddy is, not knowing if the nigga really exists or not, or why he don't want you, whatever the case may be. And all the while, the mama got you thinking it's somebody else when it wasn't. So that was my experience of having kids young. I didn't. Shit, it wasn't mine. Shit, put it frankly, I had 3 that I thought was mine. And the first 2, shit, they just took me for a ride. They just took me for a ride. But the last one, she was a girl. She was a little girl. She's an adult now. I never got to be close with her, and I respect her mama so much for that. She was upfront. She was honest. She told me there's a possibility that the baby might be mine, but she was in a relationship as well, and so she kept it forthright and 100. So we got paternity before I became a part of the baby's life, and I appreciate her for that because my 2 sons I thought were mine, but they still dealing with that. They still dealing with that stuff right now today. Not having their daddy active in their life or present in their life, and then my second child. My second child, yeah, he really got it bad, man. His mama just felt like I've been taking care of him by myself. I'm just gonna keep taking care of him by myself. I don't think she ever told the boy who his daddy was. That ain't fair to him. We grown. We gonna be all right. My oldest child, he knew he found out who his daddy was, but they had a rough relationship. They had a really rough relationship, and I'll never forget. And I was cool with the guy. I know his daddy. We cool. We cordial. We ain't like best of friends or boys, but we cordial. We respect when we see each other. And we seen each other one night at the truck stop. At a truck stop in Florida. I'm from Florida, so I was coming back from a race. I was doing a race. I stopped in the truck stop to get something to drink, whatever. He was in there. We chopped it up and talked, and the subject came up. And he was just telling me how things were going. And the only advice I can give him, and it just came straight off the dome. I didn't know if it was gonna be true or not, but it was just the best advice I can give him at the time. I say, man, if you want to make it right with your son, do right by them grandbabies, man. If you want to make it right with your son, do go over and above with your grandkids, man. That's how you're gonna get in there with your son. I say, bro, because you can't deny the boy look just like you. When I seen you in the club 20 some odd years ago, and I really ain't know you, but when I seen you, I seen him. That's why I stepped to you like a man the way I did and told you what was going on. Because it ain't no denying him. He just, we had the same complexion, but he looked more like his mom. But he looked like his mom and somebody else, just not me. And my mother, you know how old school moms are, she told me without telling me this ain't my baby. But I was so gung-ho about being a daddy, I just overlooked the red flag and kept it tight until I started seeing different things that just wasn't right. And so when I seen him in the club that particular night, he had just came home. He had just came home. We talked, exchanged numbers, and we rectified the situation amongst ourselves. We didn't have to get the courts involved, nothing like that. So, but that in turn caused bad blood between him and the baby mama, and his baby mama, and then that in turn caused problems for him and his son. But over the years, they have gotten cordial. But I just told him that night when I seen him, I said, bro, just do right by your grandkids, man. That's how you're going to be good with your son. I don't know if he did it or not, because I haven't seen him since. Cool brother. I got respect for him. He got respect for me. Ain't no ill will, nothing like that. It's just one of them things that happened, man. They were together. He had me to jail. And me and her had a history. We were teeny bopper. I'm talking about 15, 16, 17 years old. So we had a history prior. And we always just kind of, kept in touch. We see each other. We'll spark a little flame for a few months, and we'll fall off again. That's just kind of how the nature of our relationship has always been. So yeah. So that's my experience on me trying to raise kids in two separate homes. It wasn't fun for me because you turn the kids one mind. That's a hurtful feeling to know that you love a child and you give your all to a child only to find out the child's not yours. Shit ain't cool. But things happen in life. I don't hold nothing against the women. We were young and immature and irresponsible. So that's just kind of what happens when you doing stuff like that. But I was fortunate to dodge a few bullets. I didn't have to go through child support. I didn't have to go through court-ordered child support. I say that. But being married and having kids, I had the privilege. I call it the privilege because you watch your children grow from infants, from the mama's womb to young men and young women. That's a beautiful thing. And it's cool to see that. As opposed to seeing your kids here for a weekend. You might go a few weeks and you don't see them, then they're a little bit bigger. You see the differences in them, but you wasn't there to see it gradually progress. So, they make you feel away, according to my friend who did it both ways. So yeah, it was but my issue is, this subject I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, we talking about all things equal. Even playing field. We ain't talking about no bitter baby mama. We ain't talking about no jealous baby daddies. We just talking about all things equal. We talking about two individuals got together, made a decision to have a child. The child come, for whatever reason, the relationship ain't quite the same. They don't make it, so they part ways. This big discussion has always been a running discussion over the years, especially on social media. I've been in several discussions over the past 6 or 7 years on social media about child support, topic of child support. You got men who are upset or who don't want to pay child support directed to the woman because she may have kids with another man. So he don't want his money going to nobody else's child. And then you got the men who can't have the woman, he ain't taking care of the baby. And then you got the woman who bitter about the breakup, didn't want the breakup, but the guy trying to be active in the child's life, but because she bitter, she taking the man through hell. And he's providing the resources financially. He's physically trying to be present, but she's not allowing any of it. I'm talking about things like that. These are the things I'm talking about that makes child support bad, that give child support a bad name. You got my question to the fellas, like, if you have a baby with a female that you used to be with, whether you were together or not, y'all have a baby together, and she got children from somebody else, but she's taking care of your children. She's taking care of the children. They're not looking dingy. They're not dusty. Their hair done. They neat. They clean. She keep them haircut. She keep the girls hair braided. They stay well groomed. They do good in school. Like, who cares what she do with the money? That's my question to y'all. If all the children are up under one roof, hopefully everybody is paying child support, doing their part with their own children. But if you see the results of what she's doing, What does it matter if she take the money and buy groceries for a whole family? Everybody eat off the groceries that put the money that you gave. Who cares? Who cares if the child support you get, she takes that child support and pay the light bill, pay the cable bill, pay the cell phone bill, and all the kids got cell phones. Like, who cares? Like, why is that such a big deal? And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be like insensitive. I want you to let me know in the comments why it's a big deal, because I never had the experience, so I don't understand it. I kind of get where you're coming from the standpoint of you don't want your child to be have less than because she's stretching the money across the board. But being in several different types of relationships over the span of my life, I've been with women who've had kids, some from one person, some from different people. My wife now, she got children from different men or whatever. So I see the dynamic in every facet. You know what I'm saying? So. But the woman is holding it down. The children ain't dusty. They ain't going without. They neat. They clean. I mean, hell, you can go as far. They got the latest and the greatest on. Little badass kids don't need no Jordans on, but they got Jordans on. They got jewelry on. They got $100 cologne on, the perfume on. That's kids. Now this, I'm talking about they going above and beyond, with or without you now. And you see them children looking good no matter what. Why is it a big deal when you know she's doing right with the money? Help me out with that. What's the problem with if your baby hungry, but she got multiple kids? Why is it an issue to if you I ain't saying she asking for this. I'm just saying, why not just buy all the kids something to eat? If it's gonna be too much to buy them a value meal, get your child a value meal, or then get too hot and ready for everybody else. What's your problem with that? You don't have to, so you don't got to do it. So you ain't wrong if you don't do it. But I'm just saying, like, what's the issue with that? Because the kids are innocent. That's my whole point. The kids are innocent. They ain't asked to be here. We were grown. I thought we was grown, and did what we did. You know what I'm saying? Sucking and fucking is great. I mean, that's the best thing in the world, if you ask me. Like the black woman. No disrespect no other race, but the black woman, that's the best creature God ever created. And her vagina, a close second. So I get it. I understand why we feel the way we feel. I understand why we shoot that club up. Trust me, I get it. I just been fortunate. However, when the babies come, man, the responsibility, you gotta take on the responsibility. Now, granted, me and you don't gotta take care of nobody else's child. I'm not suggesting that. But I'm just saying, like, why we make a big deal about where the money go if the young lady is doing right by your child? That's my question to y'all. And ladies, it's on y'all too. Y'all get bitter. Y'all be bitter because he left you. He don't want to be with you for whatever reason, but he still want to y'all to co-parent. Make decisions together about y'all child. He want to be an active part of y'all child life. He want to go to the PTA meetings. He want to go their first day of school. He want to do all these things. He still want to do birthdays as a family, things like that. Even though he might have another relationship, he still want to be active part of the baby life. But y'all mad, so y'all block all that shit. Like, why is that? Okay, we ain't make it. But why we gotta be bitter and mad at one another? Because we ain't make it. We adults. Shit happens sometimes. Things don't work out. But them kids ain't asked to be here. That's my whole thing. The kids ain't asked to be here. So why we make a big deal about that? Just because we not together no more. And then on top of that, why you run down there and put a good man on child support who is active, who's present, who's financially involved, who's everything involved, but you go run to the court to put him on child support when he's doing everything he's supposed to do without nobody making it? Why y'all do that shit? But then y'all get with a bum, a FN, I ain't gonna say the word, who uses money to control you, or if he can't have you, he ain't taking care of the baby, or he just finessing you just to get sex here and there, but don't want to take care of his responsibility. Like, y'all want to do shit to these jokers? Y'all want to do nothing to them type of men. Why is that? But y'all want to hold a good man feet to the fire and make him pay for the sins of these bums you done been with. Why y'all do that? That's crazy. And in turn, that good man turned bitter. He started hating every woman. Think all y'all the same. Brother, all of them ain't the same. All of them ain't the same, my brother. There's some good ones out here. There's some good ones that allow you to do right. I'm talking from experience. I had the privilege of raising my kids from babies up until they were teenagers. I said adults because even after me and their mama split up, I still actively present in their life. So, and I've been on child support, but it just wasn't court-ordered child support. Me and their mama, we just came to an agreement, and she said she needed X amount of dollars per child, and she needed X amount of dollars for herself. And I agreed to it. So I did my just due. I know I've been on child support, but I still was active in my kids' life, you know, because at the end of the day, them kids ain't make you, you made them. So they gonna need you regardless of whether the relationship worked out or not. So we have to, male and female, we have to put our pride to the side for the sake of our kids. For the sake of our kids. And trust me, I done been on both sides of that thing. My ex-wife, we had an agreement. Our marriage went downhill. It went downhill. It went downhill pretty bad. We had a tough go at it. We loved each other. We had a good bond. We had a solid bond. And you know, things happen. I ain't gonna go into details, but things happen, man. And I stepped outside of the marriage. I did the act of stepping outside the marriage, but things happened that pushed me to a point where I just said, fuck it. I'm gonna be honest with you. But me saying fuck it to my marriage, it also caused collateral damage with my kids. So we had an agreement to stay together until my baby boy, graduated from high school. That was in 2020. That was 2020. And then we were gonna revisit our situation and see was the marriage worth salvaging or not. But the plan was to stay together until my baby graduated. So their lives won't be so torn up when we split. But one day, she chose to change that. I had to respect it because I wasn't doing right. I was fed up. You know, I had done checked out. I mentally checked out. I got tired of things that were going on, how it was affecting me. So I mentally checked out. But I still want to be in my kid's life, so I didn't leave. So, but she got tired of that shit. She got tired of that because it wasn't no more romance or no more intimacy between me and her. We wasn't no longer friends. That was my best friend at one point. We did everything together. We talked about everything. We talked on the phone from the time I left to go to work to the time I got home. Like, we were that close. But, you know, over the course of time, things happen. A couple bad decisions here or there, you know what I'm saying, that caused her to feel away. And then her feeling away, she began to treat me a certain way, and that caused me to feel away. And then things just went down here. That trickled down effect. But nevertheless, I never gave up on my kids. However, me giving up on my marriage damaged my kids. But I still was an active parent, and I still did my best to be a good co-parent, and I still did my best to try to raise my kids with her, alongside of her, even though we was living in separate places. And for the most part, it was cool until it wasn't cool no more. But by then, they were grown, so it was okay. But yeah, I paid child support, man. Like, I paid a lot of money in child support. Like, I ain't gonna do the number thing because that ain't important. But I sacrificed for my kids. I gave my last for my kids. Like, so my outlook on child support way different than a dude that didn't have the privilege of raising his kids in the home. And then too, man, like I don't want to be too insensitive towards different individuals, but you gotta look at a person's upbringing, who raised them, where their background, where they come from. All this stuff plays a major role in raising kids with said individuals. So it's very, very challenging. It's very, very tough, but man, it's still doable. At the end of the day, these kids need y'all. They need both of y'all, not just one of y'all. And I'm gonna say this too. It ain't popular, but I think a lot of women get a kick out of saying, "Oh, I did this by myself. I raised them children by myself. I ain't had no help." For some reason, that makes them feel good. But being masculine ain't pretty. I know sometimes you're forced to be masculine, and I know sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and I'm not knocking that. I got all respect to the black woman, to the woman that has to hold it down, to the woman that has to be the male, the man, and the woman. Much respect, much love. I salute y'all. However, a lot of times, these women will block the man out and present a negative light to the kids, so the kids look at them a certain way when they've been trying the whole time to be active. You got some no good ass dudes out here. I ain't finna even hold you. You got some no good ass dudes out here. But all men ain't bad. All of us ain't fuck niggas. All of us ain't bums. You got some dudes real deal in their kids' lives, regardless of how their mama was treated, regardless of how their mama run down to the court trying to put them on child support. They overlook all that and still present in their kids' life. And then you got some guys, man, they looking for the first reason to say F all y'all. I'm gone. Then you got some real women that real deal want their children to be, want their children's father to be in their life. I mean, bend over backwards for them guys to be active in their kids' lives. Let them know all the activities they doing. Let them know what they got going on the weekends, this and that, so they can be a part. Not be in a relationship with her, but be a part. And them jokers make every excuse in the world not to do it. So people like that, the negative people like that, men and women, they make it bad for the good ones. Because the women that had to do it by themselves, when they get a good nigga, he got to pay for the sins of all them bums she done been with before him. That ain't fair. That ain't fair. And then when a man get a good woman, she got to pay for all the sins of them no good ass women he had before her. And that shit ain't fair. That shit ain't fair at all. But this is shit we do because we hurt and we scorn. Man, put that shit to the side. Put it to the side, and it's about these kids now. It's about the kids now. Trust me, I dealt with a lot with my ex. But I put all that to the side for the sake of my kids. All of them. I did the best I could with what I had, and my kids was my flex. I didn't flash my money because I made good money. I didn't flash. I didn't go out and get the assets so you could see how good I'm doing. My flex was how I took care of my kids. That was my flex. I wasn't trying to have the freshest car on the block. I wasn't trying to have the biggest chain on. I wasn't trying to have a pocket full of money so everybody could see I got this knot. I wasn't trying to do all that. My flex was my kids. My flex was taking care of my kids and making sure they had everything they needed and most of what they wanted. I wasn't rich, so they didn't have everything they wanted. They had a lot of it though. I broke my neck for my kids. Like, I financed the dream. I'm a truck driver by profession. You see I'm doing a podcast in my truck. So I'm always gone. I wasn't on many vacations. I wasn't on none of them holidays. I missed a lot of birthdays. But when they went on vacation, I financed it. They had a great time. Unfortunately, I just went in the pictures. Their birthdays were phenomenal because I made sure they were phenomenal. I don't really celebrate holidays, but I celebrate anniversaries and birthdays big time. So I made sure they had great birthdays and they had great Christmases. So yeah, like I made sure they were straight, and every holiday, every anniversary we had, like it was always something. It was something big. I celebrated these things, holidays and birthdays. But I noticed, like going through the course, that wears you out. And these women get tired and say, I just do it myself. And I say to you women that do that, y'all doing y'all kids a disservice. Y'all doing y'all kids a disservice. If that guy ain't paying his way, I stay in the courts on his ass. I stay in court on his ass. If he ain't paying his way, I stay in court on his ass. I don't care if he lying about his income. I don't care if he a dope boy who ain't got no job. I don't care if he making every excuse in the book. He won't have no damn license. That nigga be going to jail every other month on suspended license. Because he ain't finna get off scot-free. That's how I feel as a man. It may not be popular, but who gives a damn? That's how I feel about it as a man, because the kids are innocent. They ain't asked to be here. And no matter what that lady do, fellas, or say about you, or have her children looking at you a certain type of way, man, do your part. That's all you can do. Don't throw in the towel and say, fuck it. Do your part. That's all you can do. Do what you're supposed to do as a man. I know some of y'all didn't have y'all fathers in y'all lives. Some of y'all didn't have y'all mothers in y'all lives. I get it. But some of my best friends, some of my friends, they were the best fathers I ever seen who didn't have their own daddy. So don't let that be an excuse. Don't use that as a crutch. Use that as fuel to use as fuel of what not to do. Use it to your advantage, not to your disadvantage. Don't use it as a crutch. Don't use it to be for somebody to coddle you. Nigga, you grown. You making babies. Ain't nobody finna coddle you. Take care of your children. And ladies, y'all had fun. Cowboying and cowgirling and surfboard and all this old shit. Man, let that man do that. But give that man the opportunity to fuck up. Give him the opportunity to mess up. Don't just block him. Give him the opportunity to mess up. 9 times out of 10, he gonna try to do what's right. And if he don't, then go to them people on it. But don't just go to the people because you mad and you bitter. Garnishing the man wages and just taking that. No, don't do that. That's for extreme circumstances when a joker just trying to duck and dodge his responsibilities. If a man trying to duck and dodge his responsibility, put them people on. I don't care if you don't got no good address. Hey, y'all the best private investigators on the goddamn planet. Find that shit. But don't do your kids no disservice because they need that income. They're gonna take pressure off you and give them the resources they need to be happy, healthy kids and look decent, look good, and feel good about themselves. And if the dude just ain't gonna be a part of life at all, if he's not gonna be a part of their life at all, and you got role models, you got coaches, you got you go to church, you got youth pastors, you got different people that they gonna look up to. You got grandfathers, you got uncles. It ain't the best, but it'll suffice. Some of the best men are the best people in America who has trying to be very successful. They had a single mama and grandma raised them. They're trying to be just fine. So don't think your children ain't gonna be great because their daddy ain't present. And don't think because your children ain't gonna be great because their mama ain't present. That ain't true. Just do your part. Just do your part. These kids ain't asked for this. They asked for none of this. They just appeared here. They just came out of nowhere because of us. Want to be motherfucking fast. Want to be grown. That's how them kids came here, because we want to be grown. Lying by our goddamn age. We want to be grown and sneaking in the club and all this stuff. And that dude caught your ass and lit your ass up. Yeah. It's because of our irresponsibility and our immaturity. Most of the time, how these kids get here. Just man up, take care of your responsibility. When you're young, you can't do much anyway. Well, do the best you can. Go get your job, make you $7,500 a week, whatever it is. Now they making more money nowadays. Just take care of your babies, man. They ain't asked for this shit. They gotta grow up in these humble ass beginnings because the mama bitter and don't want the dad to have nothing to do with the kids. And then she gonna run out there to them people and try to get him for everything he got when he trying to be there. That's bullshit. Or you got the dude mad because she done moved on and got with somebody else. So now you ain't gonna do nothing for the baby? Because she moved on? Nigga, she don't want you. She don't have to want you. But you still gotta take care of your baby. You can't use that against your child because the mama don't want you. Bruh, we gotta stop this. We gotta stop this. All we doing is creating resentful humans. We create resentful human, and guess what? The cycle gonna continue to repeat itself. When we gonna break the cycle? When we gonna break the cycle? And I'm still feeling the effects of it too. My marriage didn't work out. My marriage didn't last. Shit, I'm feeling the effects behind that. Mama, baby, daddy, maybe. These my kids. I'm not saying they're not my kids, but what I'm saying is them cheering around with their mama. And however their mama act, they gonna respond to that. So my grandmother, I'm gonna end on this here. My grandmother was a wise woman, may she rest in peace. My grandma Catherine Pope, man. She gave me some of the best game I ever got in my life. One day I was over there sitting when I was in my early 20s. I just happened to go by there and see her. We just got to talking about, I just want to see how she was doing. She just got to talking to me about her husband. I never met my grandfather. And she told me the type of man he was. And he wasn't a good man from what I understand. He was a womanizer, he was abusive, verbally and physically. But she said, Aaron, you know what? I never talked bad about him in front of his kids. I let them see their daddy for their own self and make their own opinion, their own judgment about their father. I just looked down like, wow. And she had every right to say, talk bad about it. From what she explained to me, she said, but I never talked bad about their daddy to them. I let them create their own opinion about their father. That's some of the best advice my grandma ever gave me. And that's what I'm sharing with y'all. Like, let these kids learn their fathers and their mothers and fathers for themselves. Don't you plant that negative seed in their mind, because as a mother, you don't know how powerful you are to manipulate these kids and have them thinking something that ain't even true, that may or may not even be true. Let them children create their own opinion and have their own judgment about their dad for themselves. And don't you give them nothing to talk about. Don't you give them nothing to think about. You just let them create their own opinion about their dad. The same for the men. You let them kids create their own opinion about their mom. To this day, I ain't never said nothing bad about my ex-wife to my children. Never. I'm never going to. Because how I feel about her, that's between me and her. It has nothing to do with them. I'm always going to hold her in the highest regard in front of my kids. I don't hate the woman. I don't dislike her. We just ain't make it. We just ain't make it. And it's the reason why we didn't make it. It ain't none of their business. I'm always going to hold her in the highest regard. Because she took good care of my kids. She took great care of my kids. I ain't give a damn what she did with the money. I seen what she was doing. I seen how my kids look. I seen how she took care of them. They weren't going without. They weren't liking my kids big. They eating good. So I knew she was doing right with the money. So I didn't care where the money went at. I cared about the well-being of my kids, and that's one thing she did. And the well-being of my kids always on point. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about her when it comes to that. We just ain't make it. But I ain't hold it against her. And I don't think she held it against me. I hope she did. So, yeah, man, we got to get off that hate, off that bitterness, off that jealousy and envy because y'all ain't make it. Okay, shit, you ain't make it. But the kids still here, what you gonna do about that? Take care of these babies, man. I'm pro-child all day, every day. I'm pro-child all day, every day. Like, that's one reason I married my wife, because she had kids. I still wanted to be a father figure. So that's why I married her. I ain't married her because she was fine or she was pretty. I mean, that played a part. But it was things I seen, our conversations we had. But them children played a part. I ain't gonna lie, them children played a part. I wanted to be a father figure still. My kids was grown. They got to a certain age where, you know, they don't want to be fooled up with daddy no more. They're trying to figure life out on their own. So hey, that's cool. I let them go. Not let them go like don't love them or don't talk to them no more, but I didn't hound them no more. I didn't like worry them about having a relationship. I had to accept the fact that they grown now. So I still wanted to be a father figure. So that was one of the reasons why I chose my wife, to pursue her in the fashion in which I pursued her in. Some people don't think that crazy, but oh well. I love children. I love being a daddy. So that was my reason. That was one of the main reasons why I chose my wife. But this child support ain't got to be dirty, man. It ain't got to be dirty. Women, don't run to them people for nothing. If the man trying to be a part of the baby life, y'all come to an agreement. I'm gonna end on this right here. Man, y'all have to come to an agreement. Don't let the ladies, don't let the man say, I'm gonna give you a little something when I get paid. What the fuck is a little something? Y'all gotta get this thing ironed out. Well, I need $200 a month for Junior. Or I need $200 a month for Randall. So if you got multiple kids, hey, I need $700 a month or $800 a month. It don't matter. It gotta be something that you can go by, you can read and go by, not just I don't got much, but I'm gonna give you what I can give you. No, we ain't doing that. Don't do that shit. If you can only afford $150 a month, start there. Hey man, but in 90 days, I'm gonna need 200, or I'm gonna need 300, or whatever the case may be. Whatever y'all come up with, both of y'all need to agree on it. And fellas, don't just let the woman say, "Oh, whatever you give me be all right." Nah, I need to know what it is so we can keep it in track. So if something ever go left, we got documents. You get that shit notarized too, so y'all will have it. So when you go to court, if you ever have to go to court, you got notarized documentation of what y'all agreed upon, so that judge won't throw that shit out. I know men who done been to court with shoeboxes full of receipts about all the things they did for their children, only for the judge to say, those are just gifts, that was what you were supposed to do. Man, create a letter, create a contract between y'all, and get that shit notarized, so y'all have a leg to stand on. So if y'all need to go to court, judge, this is what we agreed upon right here. And you good. Have some structure, man. Have a format to go by. Don't just be winging it, because if you just wing it and she get this damn itch up her ass and want to do something vindictive, you up shit creek, and vice versa. So put it on paper. Have something to go by. Write the vision, make it plain. You got something to read when you walking. Yeah, you know what you got to do. But don't accept no, I'm going to give you a little something here, I'm going to give you a little something there. That ain't cool. Them children need more than a little something. They need something ironclad. They need something consistent. Now, I'm going to say this. And and some women say, they challenge me on this, but only thing I don't think women should do with that money is go treat themselves to like a goddamn hairdo or get their nails and feet done. Now, I don't agree with that. Some women say they do it because all their money went towards the kids anyway, so it ain't no big deal. And I get that point, but that's my only disagreement with where the money go. My personal agreement. That's just my opinion. My opinion don't mean shit but to me. But other than that, man, like, put that shit on paper and y'all work it out amongst yourselves. You ain't gotta go to them people if you don't have to. My only stipulation when I went through my divorce from my first wife was, don't put me on court order child support. I'll give you whatever you want. Don't put me on court order child support. If you put me on court order child support, I'm fighting for custody. I'm fighting for half of everything. That was my only request, and she honored that request. It was good from there. I paid what I had to pay until them children got grown, and I paid alimony for X amount of years, and she was good. So that's my take on child support and co-parenting. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Man, please, please, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. This your boy Big Hawk with another edition of My Perspective Podcast. I'm out. I love y'all. Peace.